Let's bring on board the management. We have Mr. Vijay Thadani, who is the Vice Chairman and MD at NIIT Learning Systems. A very good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now. And let's talk about the quarter gone by. If you could actually highlight to us what exactly transpired in the quarter and what actually led to this performance.
Okay. So first of all, I think this performance is in line with how we had guided. And when we started the quarter, we were well aware of the fact that there is a lot of uncertainty in the environment and volatility. And this is also the time when the spends on training sometimes do get curtailed. And that's reflected in the QoQ growth of 2% that we have. Yet we had a very strong order book. Our win rates have been very high. And we actually added more orders this quarter, for whose impact we will see in the coming quarters. So because of the new customers we had, the scope expansion with the existing customers, and of course, we also saw some green shoots in spending increase for the training consumption, which contributed to this. Generative AI and AI have been very strong differentiators for NIIT Learning Systems, have set the company apart in the L&D function as one of the primary contenders for the L&D outsourcing. So I think these are some of the factors which have contributed.
Speak a bit about the spending. I want to just understand a bit more in terms of the L&D budget, that's the learning and development side budget over the last few months. How are you seeing the increase in more spendings over there? What is the increase, or will you be increasing more in terms of the spending there, or are you still going to be a bit more conservative?
Yeah. So first of all, whenever there is uncertainty and volatility in the environment, people tend to control their purses. And in that, learning and training, which were considered as discretionary spends, they are at the bottom of the pile in terms of the purses getting opened. However, given the strong wave of digital transformation, as well as the fact that AI and generative AI, the way it is positioning itself, can actually transform an organization, is making NIIT Learning Systems more attractive to its customers. The use cases that we are able to demonstrate have set us apart. And to that extent, I think we were able to get new customers and we were to get scope expansion with our existing customers. Having said that, given this whole trend of technology affecting the way businesses are getting conducted, are also reflecting in people deciding on what are the strategic areas where they would like to invest their training money. And I think in that area, we do see some green shoots in increase of spend in select customers for whom training has become mission critical for their success in their particular competitive market. So I think these are the contributors.
Let's talk about the quarter gone by. The company added 3 new MTS customers. If you could explain to us, how is the pipeline now looking for client addition and mining?
Yeah, the MTS customers are typically, as I said, they are category leaders amongst the Fortune 1000 that we address. And each of these are long sales cycles where we go through multiple hoops. And for us to emerge as with us actually reflects on a very good win rate that we have had in the last many years, but this quarter was particularly good. We had 3 new customers, 3 scope expansions, and 1 renewal. So that's on one hand. We see a strong pipeline ahead of us because what has happened is the same reasons which have driven these customers to now consider something like outsourcing of training is actually encouraging other customers to look at it that way. Many customers have their training spends decentralized. What AI is enabling us to do is to help them with that centralization process in a way that training can then become more strategic and organization-wide. A common thread of how learning and development can be used to make the organization competitive starts becoming more visible. So I think those are some of the areas which have helped us expand the net. And we are being one of the major contenders and getting a larger share of the races we run in.
Sure.
I think we are getting the benefit.
Sure. Mr. Thadani, just lastly, I want certain outlooks that one should be keeping an eye out on. One, in terms of headcounts, because that's seeing a bit of a decrease. So is that trend likely to continue in the next couple of quarters? And what is the growth target as well as the margin target that you have for FY25? If you could share some numbers there.
Yeah. So as far as the headcount, if you are referring to the headcount of the industry, it has gone through a tough, but as you know, the rest of the industry, and I guess you are referring to IT outsourcing industry, they have guided that they are now going to start increasing the headcount. And that was to happen because I think normalization has to come about, and each of the companies is growing in their respective segment. AI is a major driver, and I think companies have to have specialized people, and that's opportunity for companies like NIIT, both from those who consume AI as well as those who are building solutions for AI. So we are helping both of them. And to that extent, I think additional headcount will also contribute to us in our growth. Coming to our own projections, we had guided for a small single-digit growth quarter on quarter in the first 2 quarters, and then a slightly accelerated pace in the last 2 quarters, because that's the time when we believe that the spends will open up, and when political situation also stabilizes, United States will go through presidential election, things will settle down. So we have also looked at from the past track record this trend and have guided for a little higher growth in the next 2 quarters, also based on the funnel and win rates that we have. So we are on track as far as that is concerned, and we'd like to hold on to that. Our margin this quarter was 25%, a little better than our guidance, and we do hope that over the year, we will maintain a 24% or thereabouts margin, which is what we like.
Right, Mr. Thadani, thank you so much, as always, for joining in with us on the show and giving us insights about the company as well as the outlook going forward. That was the management of NIIT Learning Systems joining in with us to talk about the numbers and FY25. But